while we wait for Chandler just to choose his tyres, just real quickly before I start this, just thoughts and prayers with everything happening in Ukraine at the moment. And yeah, it's a very shocking thing over there at the moment. And thoughts with Ukraine. Just great country. It really is. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. And for those in the chat, just let me know if there's any issues. If there is, I'll let Katra know and she'll have to take over. So, cheers. Alright, let me start with this great intro and hopefully it goes through. If not, I'll kill my internet provider. Well, here we are. It is the... Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a track this is. I mean, what a track this is. It is one of the greatest tracks in the world, ladies and gentlemen. In the world, apart from Bathurst, it is the greatest circuit of all time. Am I only saying this because this is the only circuit I'm really good at in this game? You're damn right. Brazil, it's one of those great tracks. It delivers in league racing all the time. We've seen it during the week already here throughout the tiers, unless you watched Tier 2. No offense, Tier 2. I was listening to Tier 2 and it's just Katra and Miniko bickering to each other. But was class entertainment though. Class entertainment. Shout out to Miniko in the chat. Brazil, it's one of those circuits that you love or you just love. 15 corners, it's just, every corner is just beautiful. You feel the car, you love the car, you absolutely feel the intensity. But the fact of the matter is, if you make one slight mistake around here, it can hurt your pace just like that. Gone. That's the thing about Brazil, and that's the beauty of it. In real life, it has delivered some of the most interesting, incredible Grand Prix and finishes. That great time when Kimi Räikkönen won the championship by 1 point, and Lewis Hamilton was sad. But then the next year he wasn't sad again, and in 2008, a Michi 950 who was in grade 7 of high school went to school crying because Ferrari didn't win the title. And then, of course, we've had some great battles. Of course, the 2012 race, we all remember that. Mark Webber, of course, not having a helmet on his final race. And then, of course, 2016 with the rain. And then, of course, last year, we all know what happened last year. And, of course, the Ferraris tangling as well. Brazil, it's a great track for league racing as well. If you all remember Tier 3 last season, the championship came down to the wire with only 3 drivers in it for the title. And, of course, that championship was decided in the stewards. A moment to remember in the history of league racing here in Breakout Racing League. But we're about to get underway. Qualifying's underway. Drivers are out there doing lap times right now. And the first time is in. It's 107.848. Not too bad of a medium run by Antonio Port, but Chandler beats him with 7.5. And then Deer Hunter with a 7.1. And I will now introduce the legend herself. Katra, welcome. Oh, he's actually retired in the pit lane. Strategy. Yeah. Audio no exists. Well, she better include her audio. It's great, Xbox, isn't it?
You said,
Xbox
and I quote,
is great,
the
isn't
legend. This is why I'm not. Let's try again. Strategy indeed. C4, C3, C2 tires. C4 being the soft, C3 being the medium, C2 being the hard. So it's going to be an easy stop easy stop from one. You know what? Give up. It just says something.
Well, Ryan does a 107.056, and I just want to say that in Grand Prix mode yesterday, before I couldn't race in Tier 3, I did a 6987, just saying. But Grand Prix mode doesn't really count, and I use assist, so it doesn't really count. But Ryan goes to the top in the Aston Martin, as I talk myself up very much. Here comes Moo Moo Milk now to the line. Let's see what Moo Milk can do. And yes, Maniko, my intro was very long. It's Brazil. People in Oceania call me the king of Brazil, so I had to do it. As Moo Moo does a 6.799.
Raptors out of qualifying.
What is
crashed
happening?
In the exit of the Senna S and the beginning of the Carro del Sol.
Well, I don't
That
think
is out.
you'll mind.
Exit of
And
turn
now
5.
Fetter's what is happening? The crashes are happening all round galore here in Brazil at the moment. Wow! As Boss Cookie now will come to the line. Let's see what Boss Cookie across the line, and he'll only do an 8. But yeah, Fetter and Raptor both out.
Well, Shush goes up to P4 in the Alpha Tauri. Axe, by the way, I said whenever I didn't have my audio included because I am the big dumb. It is dry all the way, so there you go. I'll repeat it again. I was wondering why it was out instantly. But Axe is doing 8 laps of fuel on his mediums to get a little bit of practice in. Everyone else wants to get about 4 runs in.
Yeah, it's the thing around here. And, interesting, the strategy going around here at the moment. I don't know if you'll agree with me, this Catro. I don't know if you think there's a better, faster strategy here, but I feel like my opinion. You can do the soft, meme can work for you. Meme soft can work for you as well. Both can go either ways, depending on your pace.
I think, honestly, the soft medium is a better strategy, theoretically. Because, I mean...
I do agree with that.
If you think about it here, a first lap safety car, obviously you're on the softs. So, I mean, either way, you probably can just pit for the softs on both strategies and get it over with. But as the race goes on, the softs around lap 12 or so, it's when you kind of go in the pit anyway and go on the medium compounded tire, the C3s. But if a safety car comes out then, you can just go to the softs if you're done. But if you do a medium to soft, and you stay out so long,
it can
obviously
hurt you.
The safety car can help again. But, I mean, I don't know. It just, by then, the undercut, everyone's already pitted. It's just not going to work out too well.
I only say beam softs can maybe work depending on your pace. I've seen people do it and work for them, but I think soft medium is the better way to go because the mediums are just a great tie around here. Soup has a big moment there, but holds on to it. He's on the soft tyres. Going to see what he can do here at the moment. 106.799 is the time to beat here at the moment. Moo Moo on the top of the times as Hoop goes P3.
Really close to the front. Edu is on a flying lap in the McLaren in the middle sector. But, the average lap speed of this track is 220 kilometers per hour, about 131 miles per hour. There's an Alfa Romeo just in the grass there. Actually, that was a Haas, I would rather say, as Edu actually gets out of the way. There's a lot of kerfuffling going on going into turn 10. But, there's 2 DRS zones. There's 15 corners, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. So that actually puts a lot of strain on your front tires. I mean, we saw through Tier 2 and throughout the rest of the weekend, tire management, you can soft to medium. But push too hard on that opening stint, you can completely destroy your tires, and you just have to sit and pretty much wait. But fuel could also be a strategy, but starting position is going to be the highest strategy with 2 DRS zones. We've seen it already through the Tier 1 Championship all throughout the season so far. It's been a lot of DRS trains. That's been the make or break of a lot of these races. If you lose the DRS train, you lose that shot at the guys in front of you, barring any safety car or any drama. Now there's 2 of them at this circuit where you theoretically only have maybe a couple places to pass, and the Descida del Lago and turn 1 in the Senna S. So if you lose those DRS trains here, it's crucial.
It is. It's massively crucial, and you said about the fuel as well can be a factor. We saw that in Tier 2, almost coming to a factor. We're going to go on board here with New Zealand Ryan for a lap around the Brazilian Grand Prix, and let's see what can the New Zealander do here. Turn 1, Turn 2, Turn 3. Turn 1, Turn 2 can be a tough part of the circuit to get right. You can lose a good chunk of time through there. I can tell that from experience. And then Turn 3. Passing opportunity definitely here at Turn 4. We've seen some passes here so far this weekend throughout the tiers. It can be done. Turn 5 and then going up the long road to Turn 6. Maybe you might see some side-by-side action here tonight as Ryan gets up on the curb, looking to see what he can do for the rest of this lap through turn 8. Passing opportunities around here, there's many, but your main opportunity is going to be at turn 1 here tonight. There may be a slight chance at turn 2 if you look for it with the nose, but you're just not going to really get that opportunity without contact. As we come through turn 11, 12, and Ryan slightly up on his time. He's got a Mercedes up ahead of him, but I don't think he's getting much out of it. Mumu improves to a 6.653, and here comes the New Zealander to cross the line. It's going to be an improvement. He gets in the 6.9s, and he'll be happy with that as Boss Cookie goes to 3rd.
Yeah, so right now what I've seen is everyone in the top 10 is on those softs. As we've seen it through Tier 2, we saw it through a majority of Tier 3, Tier 4 realistic. The softs are definitely the preferred tire to go on. So the guys like Chandler Drix, Axe, who've set mediums, obviously those guys may look to go set to soft compounded tires a little bit later on in the session, but I mean, they have a free choice of tire as it stands right now, but as it stands, it's just more theoretically about that track position. Because the middle sector, I talked about how the tires, they can make it, but overheating and that wear of the fronts can definitely play a huge factor. Well, that's a majority because of this middle sector. The dirty air, especially because you're going to be in this DRS train, you're also going to be so close up to the guy in front of you. This dirty air, the wash, the wake of the car in front of you, it's going to completely overheat your tire, destroy your tires, and lose you downforce, causing you to use that tires more. So that track position is oh so crucial, ever more so than you would think. Honestly, it's probably one of the most crucial qualifying in the final couple of races.
We're on board with Chandler for that. 106.555. He goes to P1 with a superb time in the Mercedes. Gets the job done. Last season here in Tier 1, he was dominant. And then so much happened in the last part of that race in Tier 1. I mean, there was a lot of Tier 2 drivers in that race, and that caused things absolute wild. Katra was even in the race.
Yes, I did.
But,
I was there.
Okay.
My highest finish there.
6 minutes to go here in the session. We're here with Chandler. Bailey's on our circuit, so I'll stick with Chandler. 51 points is the margin between Bailey and Chandler. 4 rounds to go. If Chandler had a race today, wins, and a fastest lap, boy, it'd go down to 25. And Bailey not scoring points would even make it even more interesting. So that's why the pressure is on the Alfa Romeo. A little bit on the Mercedes as well, as Hoop goes P3. The championship also could really get very, very close, and especially with the constructors fight with 88 points between Mercedes and Romeo.
Well, what I've seen is obviously a season ago, we've seen throughout that Chandler at the second half of the season, especially the final stretch, was absolutely unrivaled. Many, many times you would see Chandler go up at the top step at the podium and dominate. Well, what I've seen so far is Chandler's best finish so far in the second half of the season has come, well, obviously he won about 4 straight, but since that win in Singapore, he has not gotten higher with 5th, 6th, 5th, and a did not start. So it's absolutely crucial for to get this going now, and Bailey trying to use as much as he can from Australia. I see a week ago, just didn't play out as well.
And that's a unique way to start his lap, Bailey, actually, in the Alfa Romeo. He's getting things underway. P8 at the moment wants to move his way up to the front pack as much as he can. And 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go. He's coming actually a decent time here at the moment, because if he does mess up this up, he could always come back in if he wanted to. With 4 minutes to go, and pole position right now is Chandler Sater. 6.555 is the time right now. Moving not too far behind Hoop P, Ryan P4. So it's close between the top 3 at the moment, but there could be some other drivers who could try to find something.
Absolutely, and right now it's crucial for these drivers because it's not necessarily too difficult to. Oh, Bailey almost lost the car through 12, but it's not necessarily too difficult to invalidate here. By the way, this mistake may have honestly cost him his entire lap. He may just go bolt into the pit lane. Yes, he does. But it's not too difficult to invalidate or to get penalties here. Only 50% or 53% of the grid from a season ago had one. But right now, with the pressure on, especially if they're close, Cookie's out around.
Yeah.
But with these guys especially, look how close they are with Unsighted Port, with Deer Hunter, with Bailey, with Ferrari Nut and Shush. All these guys right now, they're obviously going to be jockeying for position, trying to get better, get every last millisecond. Some may even have a little bit of nerves playing at 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter off of the track can end everything.
Here comes Ferrari Nut. Goes P4. The Red Bulls third and fourth here at the moment. A great time by Ferrari Nut here at the moment. And he goes fourth place in this Grand Prix, doing a superb job. As Chandler Sater goes for another lap. Everyone's slowly starting to come out for their final laps here. In qualifying for Tier 1. 4 rounds to go here in this one. Mumu starts off his lap as well. So all these drivers trying to find what the pace they can find in this one. Try to top Chandler here in qualifying, but might not be easy to. We'll have to wait and see. But Mumu now coming up to the first sector, and he's down.
Right now, I think Mumu actually has the best part of the track. You see, he's completely clear for the next 3 or 4 corners or so. You'd think, okay, that's the same thing for the other Alpha Tauri. Shush going down and starting his flying lap now, but look at this. There's a McLaren in front of him going down to the Retro Pasta. He may meet him down into the Cedar del Lago. Well, you see the rest of the circuit. There's a yellow flag through on the final corner, or final, I guess, real corner, turn 12th, that being a Mercedes.
Yeah, Chandler's lifted off there. So he could go again if he wanted to. Mumu's actually lifted off as well. So, whew, everyone trying to find absolutely everything here in these last remaining laps. Time, laps, same thing. As D Hunter now is starting off a lap time here at the moment. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go here in this session. Shush. He'll get underway shortly as well. Driggs there in P12. Oh my goodness me, he's warm up his tyres. Very interesting. And Edu trying to find something as well. He's down in P16. Chandler goes again as we're coming down to the wire.
So now, with this amount of time left to go, everyone is basically out except for Raz AD Cam and Ferrari Net. Everyone else on a flying lap or an out lap. One of them being Bailey, the championship leader at the moment down in the Cedar del Lago. The first sector, 16.5, barely up on his time. But that could definitely come later date. Yellow flag for the final sequence of corners, that being a McLaren. That may be Drix done. I could be wrong.
No, so do.
Okay, I was wrong with that. So now it's going to be crucial for these guys. The laps need to come in now. The session, 45 seconds to go.
Chandler slightly up in his time. 1/10 down is Mumu in the first sector. Edu is done. We'll see what Mumu gets in this middle sector. Then we'll go to Chandler. Slightly up is Mumu. So this could be an interesting end to this session between these two. Chandler to the line. And it's an improvement. 6-4-2-1. But is it enough for Mumu to find something to get to Chandler? We'll have to wait and see. Is it enough to take pole? No. 6-5. He won't mind taking that P2. But can Hoop top line?
Oh!
Let's see. Hoop to the line as Bailey is... What has happened?
Apparently, the Alpha Tauri, that being Mumu, at the end of his lap, stopped. And Bailey went right in the back of him. Could not avoid it. He completed his lap, but collision, and he's been disqualified for going the wrong way.
As Driggs goes to P4, we'll unravel what just happened in a second. As Port now goes up into third place. The winner, of course, in Realistic. As Boss Cooking now. Let's see what Boss Cookie can do. D Hunter behind him. Boss Cookie to the line. Is he going to be improving in positions? It is. He goes P7. D Hunter comes into the pit lane. They only got Cam left. Actually, Axe, but Axe is invalidated. Cam is 2 attempts down on his lap. But I think that is enough for Chandler to take pole position after an incredible end qualifying session.
Absolutely, but one crucial thing now, Mumu is going to start from 18th after what happened. I'm not necessarily sure. He just came to a close and a stop and a halt at the exit of his flying lap, and Bailey had nowhere to go.
Bailey, though, is P5 as Hoop now will come into the pit lane. And that is it. Chandler's on pole. Port in third, Driggs in fourth, and Bailey in P5. Sets up a hell of an interesting race. So there you go. It is Chandler on pole position. Hoop in second. Port in third, Driggs in fourth, Bailey in fifth, Ryan sixth, Cookie seventh, Verona in eighth, Dihana ninth, and Shush in 10th to round out the top 10. And there's everyone else outside the top 10. I think half of them start on those medium tyres.
Once again, everyone starts in the top 10 on the softs.
Yeah, that was to be expected, unless Chandler wanted to go the mediums. He probably could have done a 6 on the mediums, but yeah, all on the soft tyres. Reminder, it is a dry race, and we can tell you from history here, especially here in league racing, that the safety car in this race can change everything. But we'll have to wait and see if it will or not. We do have bumper grid here tonight for round 21 for Tier 1, Season 7 of Breakout Racing League. And the question I have is, who is going to win this race?
Well, that leads perfectly in to the stat of the day. 6 of the last 7 have been won from pole. The only one that's not coming from pole has come from second, Vettel in 2017. So basically, it's kind of unlikely to start from outside that front row, but it's happened a couple of times. But from Tier 2, it was 1 from second, the front row, crucially. So it's going to be between Chandler and Chandler and Hoop, sorry. Moo starting outside the top 20, or sorry, top 15. There you go, finally got it. But it could happen if anything were to happen as lap 1 or later on in the race. It could be crazy on. But now we get into the picks. I'll be the one to ask who you have.
Now, before I do that, let's just have a look at P7 right now.
Wait a minute.
Cookie on the mediums.
How has he done that then?
I think he joined. He might have joined in late while the session was on, and might be a little bit of glitch there. So this game is getting fantastic, isn't it? I'm sure that will be to be discussed with everybody after the race, depending on what happens. But predictions, I want to hear yours as well, Maniko in the chat and everyone else. I am going to say this race is going to be bleeping crazy, and I'm going to say that the race winner, out of nowhere, is going to be Axe. Shock prediction there. Catra.
Interesting. So from 13th, so he clearly disregarded my statistic.
I'm just going that this race is going to be crazy. But to be fair, it is Chandler and Hoop at the front, so it could be just a DRS train at the front. Who knows?
Could be. But, I mean, actually, you know what? I'll go with it. I'll say it will be a crazy race. It was a crazy one last season. But I think...
Yes.
I've said it the last couple of races, but I still think I'm going to go with it until I'm proved wrong. Hoop. I'm going to be honest with you. Tier 2 was 1 from second.
The one thing... And I apologise to Chandler if you watch this back. The one thing Chandler needs is to have clean air and for it to be safety car free, I feel like, to win this race. That's a type of race that he excels at. If Chandler wants to win, I feel like. That's just by the form of Chandler in the last few races. Just saying. But we'll wait and see as the time now begins here at the moment, and Cookie now goes to soft tyres, so that problem has been removed. We have 4 drivers on the medium tyres so far here in this one, and Maneko saying in the chat he's going to go in New Zealand Ryan. Hello to Henchman in the chat as well. New Zealand Ryan, well, Maneko, the problem with that is that Ryan... here's a prediction. Ryan's going to be the only one who's going to have a penalty in this race. Who knows? He could prove me wrong.
But Bosky was saying he couldn't change. It's kind of interesting tactics, isn't it? Because he did change. Interesting. Okay.
you said it, not me.
I mean,
Five,
regardless, he had to
five
start on his
drives.
sauce, so.
Yeah, true.
Because, I mean, he went at the pit
Been
lap
able to
1 if
score
he started
points,
on the
as
mediums.
someone has just gone right off into the grass. So, 5 drivers on the medium tyres, and that includes, of course, Raptor. Again, I say it every week with Raptor. You never, except for, of course, last week, but Raptor always one to look out for towards the end of the race, especially with alternate strategy. So, but before we get underway, here are the points real quickly for you all. Bailey leading by 51 points. Hoop is only 18 points behind Chandler in third. Line Hoop here. What? Bruh! Am I still streaming? Bruh! Hello? Hello? Uh... Uh... Am I... Hello? 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 Hello, everybody? Hello? Let me know when anyone can hear me right now. Please. Oh, hello? Are we live? I don't know if we're live right now. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. What?
I think you took it from me, so yeah. Good. I don't know if it caught it, but I streamed for a little bit. I'm not sure if it actually caught it or not. Let me check.
I don't know! That was weird. So, nothing disconnected, it's just the game. Okay. Alright, folks, we'll get back into it as best as we can.
I'm trying to see if we caught the start. Because it either did not catch it, and it
I do
didn't stream.
apologise.
I streamed for half a lap, I think.
That was like, for those wondering at home, literally what happened was I got an invite from New Zealand Ryan and didn't realise I was not in the game anymore.
Yeah, I saw it as soon as you were going, or the drivers were going to the grid, and I swiftly.
I can't say if that's internet or even though I did disconnect from the party.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Don't know.
Because I come back, because I had to dive
because
across
I'm still
the room.
streaming.
You are?
Like,
okay.
I haven't stopped.
Then maybe.
Like, I haven't stopped.
Maybe that's not so good.
I don't know.
Everyone has.
To be fair, and we. Oh. So we have a safety car.
Oh, you're just now in the session.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. So if it did not catch the start, off the start, Hoopalicious went down to turn 1, overtook Chandler. It's the second time in this race. I mean, we had it in Tier 2 that the car who started second got the lead by turn 1. Obviously, Tier 2 kind of went a little bit differently, but Hoop stayed ahead of Chandler. Drix was battling on the side and poured down the Retro Pasta and down into the Cedar del Lago. There was a couple of cars going wide. One of them being Bosco, who went a little bit and made contact with Deer Hunter. And, Deer went off the track, he was forced off the exit of 5, and Cookie lost the car, hit the barriers big time, and excavated across the track and hit the Red Bull of Ferrari Nut. He was already out by the time it happened because he hit that barrier on the left-hand side. The tether was completely disconnected. It looks like the Red Bull of Ferrari Nut is okay. Either that or he already pitted for his new wing change. But Cookie's out on lap 1.
Before we get more into this race, I just want to put out here that everyone's been having issues with Cody's at the moment for some reason with streaming. I don't know why. Catcher is the only one who's gotten lucky, except for a couple of weeks ago. But everyone's just, it's weird at the moment. Like, things are going weird at the moment as a streamer, so, but anyway, all that matters to me right now is Ryan's not red to me, so that's all we need to know. Right, so after missing that, let's unravel what's happened here. below P from 12th downwards have all pitted. Shush on the soft tyres, Edu on the medium tyres, Chili on the hards, Cam on the mediums, Mimo on the mediums, and of course Fronut on those medium tyres.
Well, theoretically, Pirelli say the softs can do about 15 laps, the mediums about 25, and the hards about 35. So Chili could actually get, theoretically, to the end of the race.
He could, but I can tell you right now, those hards pace compared to the mediums is war. But let's just say this is the start of the race right now. No, we're not. We're not going to say that. Hoop is at the front. Bout's going away, and it's chaos at the back. Axe is around.
What has happened there, then?
What has happened there? There's chaos at the back as we're back on the way. Chandler's going to see if he can try to get a run here on Hoop, but it's not going to be enough for now as we've got Driggs sitting there behind. Edu has left the session as now Port Sin right there behind Driggs. He's going to look for the run here. Oh, it's very close between the two here at the moment. Very close. They go side by side. Port now moves his way back into P3 as Edu gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. As Port now goes up into third place. Let's see what's going on in this mid-pack here at the moment. Yes, there is. There's multiple cars around. Wow.
It's like damage.
There is
no front wing to Chili. So there goes that entire strategy for the Ferrari, and Fast AD was collected up in it as well.
Apologies for Smith. And Raptor's gone off now. Raptor's now going off circuit. It's the chaos of Brazil that we all love to see. Fronut tries to look for it around the outside of him. Fronut and Raptor side by side as now Edu, who's not in the lobby, Mitch, don't worry, as now X is sitting there in P14, watching this all go down. My goodness me, it's chaos here in this race. This AD and Chili will have to come back in the lane. There's Hoop still P1 right now.
Well, I'm trying to actually get him in the session. It's difficult. I'll do that real quick.
As we see Bailey now, D Hunter there in P7, Federer in P8 here in this race at the moment. Shush there in P9, Shush on the fresher soft tyres. And actually, that's not a bad strategy for Shush to actually just go on. So, Federer's gone! No! Federer around in the Aston Martin. He just lost it coming out of turn number 4. It's actually, no, coming into turn 5, he lost it there. And Federer around, but he did not get damaged. That's probably the most important thing to look out for here at the moment. D Hunter is now sitting right behind Bailey to try to look for something.
Yeah, he didn't theoretically get damaged for what we can see, but his tires definitely may be overheated, and that's something that's going to be very difficult to get back, especially through the middle sector. That is something that is very tire and grip dependent, but very, very temperature dependent. So an overheated tire, especially what he had at exit of 5, through that middle sector, it may not recover for a bit. You may see him in the pit lane, but he may be okay, especially with how it happened. But now DRS is enabled, and here comes the train.
Well, the train has already really begun. It's all the way down from 1st to 8th, basically, is this train right now. As Ryan now he's close enough to Driggs maybe for a move here soon. Keep an eye on that. And out the front, it's pretty well spacious here at the moment. Meanwhile, let's go down to P9 and P10. Mumu trying to see if he can find something here with Cam up ahead.
Definitely indeed, but now you see 2.2 seconds between Cam and Shush.
D Hunter going for the move here on Bailey. Oh, and he gets the move done on Bailey there. Shutting the door right on him as D Hunter now goes up into P6 in this race, and Bailey now is going to have to try to find something to fight back on D Hunter. Or maybe Bailey's just happy to sit behind here at the moment and watch the carnage up ahead happen, really.
Right now, I don't think he's happy to sit anywhere as long as it's behind Chandler, because right now he's losing 12 points in the championship to the Mercedes. And by the way, Fedek gets past Edu, and Hublis gets past Slap. But those 12 points, the gap being 51 now, puts it down to 39 with 3 races to go, and that's a very manageable gap.
Yeah, it's... we'll have to wait and see what it is towards the end of the race. Oh, my goodness me. It's getting tight at that front here at the moment. So Ryan now is closing in on Driggs. Driggs struggling a bit, and he's actually out of the DRS, so Ryan could close in here on him, so keep an eye on that. Shush losing a bit of time to Bailey as well, but this fight between Cam, Mumu and Ferrari Nut hanging up for the first of the medium runners here at the moment.
right now for them, obviously those have 4-lap-old tires in all 3 of their cars, respectively. They're a little bit younger, 2 laps to be exact, for Axe and Raptor behind them, Andy Benfetta and the Aston Martin on those softs. But right now they're trying to hope this thing goes, well, as green as long as it possibly can. No safety cars from here, because obviously they can't make it to the end of these mediums. They can only go around 25 or so laps. Any more than that will be difficult. But right now they're just trying to hope and play the long game.
And Ryan gets past Driggs as I expected. So Ryan now goes up into P4. Meanwhile, Moo and Cam. Moo gets through. Easy does it. Easy, she says it. As Ferrari Nut sitting right there buying his time, waiting for that right move to go for it on Cam for P10 in this race. Chandler, 0.4. He's not getting much out of Hoop at the moment, but look at Cam now. Looking once again. This battle here between P9, P10, P11, absolutely rampant here at the moment. These guys are absolutely battling for it, unlike the front runners at the moment. So, all Cam slide moment, but Ferrari Nut sitting behind, waiting to possibly do it on next time by.
Right now, Ryan is off that DRS by about a second, I'm sorry, a tenth or so, but he gained about 2-3 tenths for that middle sector alone, trying to get it, because if he can get it now, he broke out of Drix's DRS marginally. Drix right now will have it, so he's just trying to close up to this train as much as possible, because like I said back in qualifying, if you lose this train, there is no help for you. You have to use a lot more of your fuel, your tires, your ERS, your actual quote-unquote stuff earlier on, and that will hurt your tires in the long run. So he needs to get up to here, because Drix right now has that DRS behind him, and it's a lot close, but here behind him doesn't. Yellow flag. That's the S, and a Ferrari Nut around, but here goes Bailey on Deer Hunter.
We'll go to Bailey and Deer Hunter. Apologies for that. As side by side, these two will go.
Oh.
And oh my goodness me, Deer Hunter's just absolutely giving it to him here at the moment, here on lap 9 of 36. And yeah, Ferrari Nut around. I wonder if there was any collisions with him, with the group of Moo and Cam, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Solar say in the chat, more field drama in Tier 1? Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if that does become a factor later in the race. Things are slowly starting to creep together here at the moment between Hoop and Chandler and Port here at the moment. Ryan 1.5 now between him and Port, so he was closing in on that gap, and now he's actually lost it and lost a little bit of time. So Ryan could be a sitting duck here in P4 for the rest of this race, but we'll have to wait and see as Chandler slowly but surely closes back in. But here comes Bailey again on Deer Hunter. He's going to try for a bit of contact between the two, and Bailey's got to be careful here. There's more contact. He's given Deer some stuff here at the moment. Oh, there's contact even more. And here comes Shush in the AlphaTauri. Looks for the move, and he gets it done. Shush says, thank you very much, and I'll take 2 positions.
That's something that Bailey really did not want. Obviously, he was faster than Deer. He tried to get through Deer. He tried to go around the outside of the Cita de Lago, the Lapa Go, and was shoved off. He tried to get it forcefully around the outside of the Senna S, and just couldn't get the move completely stuck through. Deer wouldn't give it up, and a little bit of contact made, sacrificing that little bit of speed, that momentum he had through the Curva del Sol, and now Schuss is through, and now Bailey has to do the same thing again on the AlphaTauri, who has more battery than Deer Hunter.
Wow, that was... I think Bailey was just giving a bit of a playback there, really, after what happened the last couple of laps. Back here at the front, lap 10 of 36. It's basically just a train right now, unless Chandler can get close enough for moves. Port's just going to sit there behind. So those three aren't really a story at the moment. It's going to be pretty much who blinks first between those guys. Meanwhile, down to P11, P12, Axe has just lost 2 positions. Feta, and that puts Axe down to P13.
You see, when I was talking about a little bit early on, about how you have to use too much of your stuff if you're not in that DRS train, as maybe gets past Cam. Battle for 9th, by the way, is that in the a little bit of a battle there through on. But look at Ryan, 2.1 seconds. You see, he was gaining that middle sector whenever he got past Drix. But since those three have that DRS assistance, that little bit of an advantage with, they don't have to use much ERS on that straight line speed. They have that advantage. So Ryan right now can't push as hard because he has to use too much of his stuff, his tires, his fuel, his ERS. And Drix is behind him, kind of nurturing off of that DRS assistance. But Ryan can't go anywhere.
And Who are you talking about, Ritzy? Anyway, yeah, Ryan, 24% battery. He may just... it's going to be interesting. He may just sit for now and just try to hold off Driggs for a bit here, because maybe wait to see if the race can come to it. He may even try an undercut, maybe, if that can work for him. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Feta now through on Raptor as well. So, what's happening here at the moment as Bailey now looks for it here on Shush. Side by side these two go, and Shush lets him go by. D Hunter, though, if he sees the opportunity, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Oh, coming up here to turn 6. I thought he was going to think about it, but he did not. So he holds back for now, but he'll try again. Moo and Cam finding out full position as well. So lap 12 of 36, we're starting to close in on the window. Well, pretty much getting right there on for those medium tyres.
We could see it now, especially these top 3. Who
you can.
The plug right now, because we saw the overcut actually worked a year ago, about 30 minutes ago.
Here comes Chandler.
And here he goes.
Chandler looks for the move. I said if he saw that slight opportunity in the gap, he'll take it. Hoop's not going to fight it, because there's no really point. It's only on lap 13 or 36. It just makes Chandler be the one at the front right now. And Port will probably just sit behind in P3 and just enjoy the day until something happens. But, yeah, Chandler P1 right now, P2. But, yeah, as you said, you could come in for meetings right now. But, again, it's just going to be whoever blinks first. Who's going to decide to go for it? That's pretty much going to be the story of this race. The gap between Ryan and Port's now down to 3 seconds. And as I said, it's just, he might just wait for a while and hope for a safety car on lap 13 of 36 here in this Grand Prix.
He could, but what we saw, though, through the other tiers is, I mean, there's some tiers we saw the undercut was incredible. It was the strategy to go for. Then we saw
that in T2.
We saw the overcut was actually a lot better than the undercut. And they have the fresher tires. So theoretically, what do you do if you're to these top 3? Well, probably you want to think about that undercut, that fresher tires you have, while the other ones are on a little bit older rubber, a little bit, I mean, less fuel, I guess you could say, in the car. Here comes Hoop again, by the way.
Yep, I feel like this is going to be a story for a bit here. Bailey and Trish are in, by the way. I feel like this is going to be the story of this top 3, this top 2. They're just going to pass one another here and there and just wait and see what happens till who pits first. Bailey and Shush both in. Mediums go on for the both of them. And who's going to get ahead of who? It is Bailey ahead.
So now, if you're these 3, especially inside of Port, you're third in this train between Chandler and Hoop, and you see these 2 behind, Bailey and Shush, in the pit lane. Maybe you see, from a little bit of your race engineer or from Jeff or wherever, that, hey, these guys have pitted. Do you take that gamble now? I mean, what do you have to lose? You're third right now on this train. You're not going to go and overtake Chandler as he has DRS or Hoop. Or what if Chandler overtakes Hoop? Then Hoop will have DRS on Chandler. You're not going to make any moves unless you absolutely fully brave send it up the inside, maybe turn 1 or turn 4. Do you undercut now? That's probably the main gamble this Alpine's going to have to take.
Well, Chandler's lost a little bit of time here to Hoop, so this could get interesting here at the moment. Let's see if any of them come in. Hoop stays out, and no, top 3 stay out. Ryan stays out. Driggs stays out. D Hunter in, as I expected, since D Hunter was actually being caught behind by Moo and Kim. So D Hunter and Feta both in.
That's all the softs done into the pit lane. It's now down to the medium runners. Who gets what? Actually, no, I'm sorry. Outside the top 5. I never mind.
D Hunter and Feta, they make back out on circuit. So, lap 15 of 36, this top 5 yet to pit here at the moment. And I just have a feeling that we may just see this top 5 all come in at the same time.
Oh, 100%. If Hoop goes in, Chandler's not going to stay out. But if Chandler goes in and tries to hide it as long as he can from Hoop, the target lap is this lap 15. So,
yeah.
Theoretically, do we see Hoop try to bait Chandler into staying out? Or, I mean, Hoop will listen... sorry. What?
I am honestly surprised we haven't seen any baiting here at the moment by these guys, but Hoop and Chandler don't really, when it's these two battling together, they don't really do that. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen many baiting. I'm not surprised that Driggs is in. I thought Driggs would have been in the previous lap, but he is in now. He may try to see if he can get the undercut on New Zealand Ryan. Driggs in, and he'll put on those medium tyres.
So here we go. This lap is the lap, definitely. Probably say they can go about 15 laps on track. Well, with the safety car, maybe a little bit, 1 or 2 more laps, but you wouldn't want to. Unless you don't think, uh-oh.
Hello. Well, oh, there is a yellow flag. It's Axe, but look at the Alfa Romeo. He is now ahead of Driggs, and he possibly could maybe get ahead of New Zealand. Oh, he will be ahead of New Zealand, right? Look at how far back Driggs is, but here comes Shush, and he goes for the position as well. And Deer Hunter's up there with Driggs as well.
So what I'm saying, the undercut, it just absolutely works incredibly, which is why you don't want to be caught napping. Fast at 83 seconds. Actually, he's a 5 for speeding in the pit lane. He actually retires in the pit lane as well. But now, look at this. Chandler almost lost the DRS. He's no doubt in this lap.
He has to no matter what. Yeah, he's struggling. Port joins him. So this race
out.
I actually think Poop has not too bad pace at the moment, but we'll wait and see. Moo and Cam obviously stay out as well. So mediums go on for Port and Chandler and New Zealand Ryan. But yeah, Chandler was losing time.
Oh no.
Did we just see what we just saw?
Fast AD retiring in the pit lane has halted Chandler, Hoop, and Ryan. Hoop
and
can
Bailey
undercut him. Wow.
And Bailey are now ahead of them. Oh wow. My goodness me. Oh, and Deer Hunter's now trying to look for Moose at the moment. Oh, the chaos in this race has just turned even more. My goodness me, and Hoop will now be licking his absolute lips. Here's the gap. It's 22.8 seconds. So, oh my goodness.
That's more than enough. He could stay out for 2-3 more laps and still have enough pace. He's in this time, though.
He's in. I have never seen that before. I have seen a similar situation before where a safety car has come out of the exit of the pit lane, but the safety car blocking cars in the pits. I've seen that happen before, but I've never seen a car that's retired. Oh my goodness me, this has just turned this race completely, but not for Hoopalicious, because right now he will take the lead easily, from the guys who have pitted. Fedder now with the fastest lap of the race, and there's Hoop, clean track ahead of him completely. Unbelievable.
It's incredible, really, to think about it, because now if you're in the shoes of the Alfa Romeo of Bailey, he's now on the provisional podium, but more crucially, he's ahead of Chandler. That is huge in the championship. With 4 rounds to go, there's not much time left for Chandler to catch him. With a really good showing here, and him finishing ahead of Chandler here, that's 50 or so points to gain in 3 races, and if Bailey just finishes in the points, it's going to be really hard for Chandler to win this championship.
Bailey could very well win the championship in Saudi Arabia. Could very well maybe win it. Driggs with the first penalty. We're on board with it there. That's going to cost him. And Chandler now is going to be hungry to go for this move here on Driggs. And yeah, he had a hell of a run. Driggs did not have the best run. Now Chandler's through. Important position for Chandler in this race. The Hoop has 4 seconds over him and Shush here at the moment, basically. It's unbelievable what happened there. As our Port's going to try to get up in this, but Driggs has got the run on Chandler. That's the part of the problem here at the moment. It's unbelievable. And we've got Ryan in there as well behind Deer Hunter in this race.
Look how far down Ryan is. Remember where he was.
Remember where Driggs was. Driggs was behind Ryan as well. The undercut. Oh, man. I tell you what.
This is too powerful. A little bit of assistance.
I tell you what. It would have been very, very close between Chandler and Hoop out of the pit lane if what happened. Fedder's retired on track. If that's a safety car, it is. Raptor's in.
That has helped Raptor beyond belief.
I tell you what, of this Grand Prix, it just came, and Mumu and Cam were past the pit lane. A long shot. Oh man, Bailey's in, Drink's in as well, D Hunter in as well. Those guys are just going for.
I don't see why Bailey's in.
I'm kind of surprised Bailey's in. I'm kind of surprised.
The track position, you saw how crucial it was. Chandler's on mediums. You had that chance.
And I can tell you right now, you've got 7 runners up ahead on the mediums. Boy, oh boy, this race has gotten very interesting.
I don't understand the call here. Guys like Axe and Raptor, Drake's a soft combat tire.
Drake's and D Hunter, I understand they're in a win-win situation. They can do whatever. But Bailey, championship leader, poor man.
This gamble. I don't see this here. The benefits of the soft compound tires, sure. I don't see it outweighing having to overtake
Mumu
Axe.
came in.
I don't see it over. Sure, you have to overtake Axe and Raptor first, and then get through Ryan, Port, and Chandler, Shush, and Hoop. Shush and Hoop are in. So if Chandler pits, okay, maybe I can understand this then. So if see this now.
If Ryan stays out.
Now that I don't understand.
Oh my goodness me. So we've been sitting here going, what is... And...
He's going to get ahead of him.
Well, that's not going to be right now. Is Bailey going to get... Axe!
Cam
out!
has retired. Where is... That's in the... Wow.
Has he...
I think he hit the safety car.
I think
he hit the safety car.
He could... I don't know. Wow. And Mumu is in the race lead. What has just happened in the last 2 minutes? I'm kind of... Wow. This race is unbelievable.
We said it was going to be chaotic, and, well, it has definitely no doubt come to that. But, the last of us pretty much just being shocked at the call at Alfa Romeo, you could just throw that out the window.
I can tell you right now, I do not see the Aston Martin pitting. I feel like he's just gone, well, I may as well just go with it then and see what happens. I feel like that's what Ryan's just going to do. But unless he proves me wrong here, Ryan's just going to sit out and just see what happens, really. That's pretty much all he's going to do. And maybe hope that it just turns into a massive DRS fest. But, you don't know. Axe in P5, Raptor in P3, Hoop down in P4, Chandler down in P8, Port down in P10. Hoy vey.
So, apparently...
Oh, here we go.
This is a prime, I guess, the texting and driving advertisements where you usually see this, long elongated message. They're basically just saying don't text and drive, correct?
I know what he's done.
I think we have an exact reason. Actually, we have an example to use if you want to go hit us up, whatever company wants to do one of these ads. He looked down at his phone, looked up, and he hit a stopped car in front of him. And the only car in front of him was the AlphaTauri.
Oh, you got to feel for Cam. That's a shame. But kids, it's a lesson in life for you.
Wait a minute. He may have hit Ryan too. Ryan has orange damage on his floor.
Oh. He might, but... Oh man, what else can you say? Because we're about to come away. The chaos it's been so far, it could be even more chaos right now. Mumu in the race lead. If Mumu can win this race, it'd be absolute scenes. Raptor now is going to absolutely go for this move here on New Zealand Ryan, because he would want to do it now. Ryan looks to fire it. There's a bit of contact. The New Zealanders around. There's even more contact. Carnage absolutely everywhere in Brazil. I don't know which car hit him. Can you confirm?
we have an even
shush.
bigger issue. Chandler was involved in an incident and has no front wing.
Well, there is absolute chaos here at the moment. It was Shush that hit Ryan. Wow, this is
Axe has
turned
damage.
this race. Yeah, Axe as well. Mercedes, they could kiss this constructors goodbye. Not officially yet, but they can kiss it goodbye depending on what happens in Saudi Arabia. Mumu, your race leader, Raptor, and Hoop now is going to try to find something here. Ferrari done in P4 out of nowhere. My God!
What? I'm The last 5 laps has been remarkable. Ferrari not gets overtaken
And
by
Bailey.
Bailey. Drix kind of
Yep.
slid on the exit of turn 12. But what has happened? Everywhere.
Here comes Ferrari Nut for the move here on Bailey. No, oh, he thinks about it, and can't get it done. Drix in there behind. All that there was just absolute Shush, Axe, and Chandler in. So Chandler's obviously got involved something behind as Ferrari Nut looks for it back here on Bailey. A little bit of a touch, and Deer Hunter's around. It's absolute drama in Brazil. Oh my goodness me, and here comes Chile. Bailey's lost positions, as now there's a McLaren that's gone off as well. It is Driggs. And Port now is out of nowhere come up to P5 in this Grand Prix. And it's chaos here in this race here at the moment. That safety car's changing everything, and Chile is now around in the Ferrari.
It's been
Wow.
absolute scenes the last 5 or so laps. And by the way, Chandler's just now out of the pit lane.
I feel like, well, I'm going to hold my breath here for a second because Hoop is about to make this move here on Raptor and gets it done. Hoop showing his pace and could very well get this job done. As Driggs in, there was contact all around throughout this one. As we're on lap 25 of 36 here in this race.
There's still 12 more laps of this race. And Chile's probably retiring. Yes, he is.
To unravel what we have seen as we'll watch Port here on Ferrari Nut. Ryan was going side by side with Raptor. He went around, he got hit behind by Shush, and possibly Axe was involved in that as well. And then Chandler's really an unknown at the moment. And if there was just safety car calamity behind, that's the drama of starting in that mid-pack, especially in Brazil. Brazil is one of those circuits, where the safety car restart can be absolutely dramatic. And we saw that here tonight already. Absolutely unbelievable as Axe now gets a time penalty here in this race. And Hoop is slowly but surely about to take this race lead in a matter of seconds. He locks forward at turn 1 on Mumu. And Mumu's not going to fight it. He knows the pace Hoop has, or is he going to try to get this back on him here at turn 3? No, he's not going to have enough. He could have enough. Let's see if he think it. No, he's lifted off. He's not going to go for it. And Hoop holds on as your race leader. As now Port. Yep, sorry, Port for P4 as well.
But the thing with Chandler is he to start finish line before he was actually in the barriers and had front wing damage. So something happened in this checkup. Either he was hit from behind, or maybe there was even, controversially, a championship implication. Was there contact between the championship rivals?
That's the fastest lap of the race. But he's down in P13, of course. And I'll try to do quickly some research here while I'm here at the moment. But Shush now with a time penalty as well. And just as we thought we were going to see, and the stupid throttle thing with safety car in. Left the session. My goodness me. What else can you say about this race?
Well, with this now, if Shush doesn't get back into the session, if he is going to disconnect and not rejoin, he will not reach 90%. Chile has now left as well, unfortunate to the Ferrari. But if Shush does not rejoin, which is AI, by the way, pits, he does not complete 90%, meaning he will actually be overtaken by Chandler regardless anyway. Chandler could still rebound and grab some points here if a safety car does occur. he only has to pass X and one other driver to get into the points.
Yeah, it's... What else can you say, really? But that's going to be a big hurt chunk in the points for Chandler. That's a big chunk of points lost. And Alfa Romeo, Mercedes too, and the constructors, they were gaining the points they wanted, and now they've just lost it. My goodness me. We're on lap 28.36.
Because right now, it's about what? 23 or so points gained that Mercedes won't score.
No.
That's back up to 100 and what? Actually, it's 111.
Yeah.
And with the amount of races left to go, only 132 are left on the table after this race.
Yeah, it's... we could be seeing championships be decided in Saudi Arabia, but we'll hold our breath for that, because anything could still happen in these last remaining laps here for the Brazilian Grand Prix after what has been an absolutely unbelievable last 10 laps here in this one. Mumu's still with Hoop at the moment, but I don't think Hoop's really pushing it here right now. Mumu is saving his ERS slightly, so he might be just playing the game of, we saw it earlier in Tier 2 with VSR Roscoe Arm trying to do it with a drive ahead. Maybe going to wait a little bit and buy his time, but maybe you don't want to buy your time, especially with a driver like Cooper Hilicious up ahead, unless we see a safety car, because it is Driggs around.
Well, that actually may be a little implication to the pit lane, to the McLaren. Yes, he's absolutely, his tires are overheated, trying to hold on to the car. He does his best so far, and he keeps it straight, but that may help Chandler get up to 11th. Axe is now in the points. He does come in. Axe will now be 10th. Chandler will be 11th.
I think Driggs is trying to retire from the race. If he crashed in the pit lane, that could have been a safety car. But anyway, we'll just hold our breath for now, and we're down to 12 drivers. Out of nowhere, we're down to 12 drivers after we almost had the whole field, and now we're back down to 12. It's unbelievable. Coming up to lap 30 or 36 in this Grand Prix. 7 to go. And an absolute unbelievable race it's been. There's your penalty so far. It's only 3 seconds up the board. Wow.
Right now.
Yes, go on, sorry.
Bailey is going to hope this race can get as clear as possible and close to that.
Well, Bailey, the thing for Bailey right now is the 2 ahead has 3 second time penalties.
Yes, but
so
right now, anything can, like, look at the yellow flag for Driggs' car retiring. If that stays on the track for a little bit longer and one more car crashes, a safety car comes out. Chandler's now in that train and can grab points. He wants it to the point where the safety car can't come out, and Chandler has to find that 10 seconds on his teammate, and then an extra 15 if he wants more than 1 point.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Because one mistake in the barriers, huge crash, Chandler's back in this race.
And there's my predicted Ryan getting a penalty. Don't kill me, New Zealander. 6 to go in this race. It is Hoop. I think this is the way it's going to be for the rest of this race, unless Mumu absolutely attacks it. Meanwhile, Farona through on to Port. That could possibly be for a top 5 as the penalties way out towards the end of this race. So Farona moves his way up. Red Bull, actually, I'm not going to look at it yet, but Red Bull could maybe pass Mercedes in the constructors for P2. They could very well might. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Actually, I think they will, because the gap is 25 points. They could very well pass Merc in the constructors, which that's just going to help Alpha even more.
I mean, they could do it theoretically with just Hoop, not even counting Ferrari, who at the moment will come home P5.
Yeah. And I think JNT gave it in the chat. Yeah, they absolutely will. Wow. Coming up to 5 to go. And we're coming in down the laps for a possible late race safety car. We've got 2 more laps to go for a possible safety car at the end of this race. Raptor sitting there behind, I think is just happy for a P3. I said it again, I say it every time. Raptor out of nowhere, getting a great position after starting at the back. It's just... at the end of the season, when I do end of season awards, which I will do personally, at the Imola Grand Prix, Raptor's just been absolutely superb this season. Just incredible when he comes out of nowhere and gets that good position towards the end of the race. But there's still 4 laps to go, and I want to hold my breath. But before I say anything else, here are the positions so far. Hoop, Mumu, Raptor, Ferrari Nut and Port. These still going to battle out. I think for the rest of this race that will help out Bailey to get that P4. Bailey, then it's Ryan down in P7, D-Hunter P8, Edu P9, Axe P10, Chandler and Shush. But of course, a couple of those cars are not in the lobby. Wow.
Right now,
and
Bailey has to suffer through one more lap. The safety car will not come out next time by.
Oh, and Port is holding back. I think Port might just wait a little bit here, because this is 4th position. These two only have 1 penalty. They're still going to be battling here for a top 5. My goodness me. So that's going to be interesting, intriguing battle to keep an eye on here between these 2 drivers. But at the front, it's still Hoop by 0.4. Both, by the way, have not used much of their ERS. Raptor's used a little bit. I don't know if Mumu's going to try to attack it. He might. We'll have to wait and see. But the real battle on is between Port and Ferrari Nut.
It is indeed. Right now, the advantage ERS-wise goes to Port by about 20%. But right now, speaking about the Hoop and Mumu thing, if Mumu does decide to go for it and dump all his battery deployment with the DRS, Hoop obviously has a lot of that stored up as well to try to defend from Mumu. So it could be extremely difficult for Mumu to get through, but it may not be so difficult from side of Port from Ferrari Nut.
He got close, Mumu, but here comes Port once again for the move. Port gets it done, so Port now missed up in the P number 4 in this Grand Prix. Mumu, that was the closest he has gotten all race, but yet didn't use much of his ERS. So that's where we can just ponder for these next 3 laps and see what goes down. My goodness me. The 2 battles to watch out for right now. For the lead and for P5. But it'll essentially be for a top 5 since Bailey will get P4 as he has no penalties in this Grand Prix. 3 to go. No more safety car intervention will happen in this race. But it is not over, to say the least. Hoop, is he going to hold on? He's got the pace, but Mumu is there. He's got 100 ERS here at the moment, and he's going to lose up a little bit here at the moment. We're coming up to 2 laps to go.
Well, Mumu had that advantage a second ago. Now it's within the exact same, within about 8% to 9% of Hoopalicious is in front of him. So right now, but here's the big question. There's 2 DRS straights, and they're both in the first sector. So do you go for the first move, use all your battery there, and maybe stunt yourself down to the Retropasta end of the Cedar del Lago? Because if you do that, Hoop can come back at you. Or maybe the guy you're overtaking can come back at you. So do you even risk it, or do you wait and maybe not have enough to get through into the Cedar del Lago? It's really going to be a game of chess, a game of checkers, and a game of cat and mouse.
Mumu now, he lost a bit last lap. He lost a bit in this sector. He needs to try to stick with Hoop here in this sector. Hoop had a bit of a moment, a little bit of a tail waggle. That's Mumu. He needs to find a good amount of time here in this sector to find something on him. He's 0.6. That's not where you want to be to have a chance to go for an attack.
They're both using.
We're coming up, final lap here at the moment. Yeah, they're both using their ERS here. Mumu, if he wants to win this race, has to have a perfect lap here on Hoop. He needs to have a superb lap to find the chance on the front straight, or to hope that Hoop makes a mistake. That's really his only opportunity here at the moment. Both using their ERS here at the moment. and just Mumu not close enough for a move. But if he can stick with him in this middle sector, that's going to be important. He needs to try to stick with him and get that opportunity. But if he doesn't stick with him here and loses that gap, he could kiss this race goodbye. And well, he wasn't in the game anyway, so that was weird. Hoop right now, it should be enough to win this race. It will be enough. After an absolutely chaotic Brazilian Grand Prix, craziness, left, right, and centre, and Hoop right now, he will move his way up, I believe, into second in the championship. Hoopalicious will win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mumu, superb job in P2, and Raptor, as always, there in the end in P3. Wow, as Bailey, importantly, gets P4 as well for Alfa Romeo.
So, right now, the penalty's 3 seconds. Does Axe wait up a tad to get Chandler there? No, he doesn't, not at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's 14 seconds behind. But, I mean, what I'm thinking here, though, is obviously Bailey is going to gain 12 points on Chandler. Well, now that he's in the points, he's going to wait. He is not going to wait. So Chandler's going to gain 1 point, and he's going to lose 11. That puts the gap now at 62 with 3 rounds to go. And Alfa Romeo may be looking really pretty here in this Constructors' Championship.
And Hoop getting 25, Chandler getting whatever he got. 1, or did he get the fast lap?
I don't think he did.
So that'd be 1. Hoop will now move up into second. The gap was 18 points between him and Chandler. So Hoop now is second in the championship. Wow.
Well, Hoop is going to be elated. So is the man in second, by the way. He went from 18th to second. The man in third got the reverse strategy working again. His Alfa Romeo teammate is going to be absolutely elated.
We'll get our top 3 in a matter of moments for interviews. What an absolutely incredible Brazilian Grand Prix. It's the GOAT, and that's why it's better than Abu Dhabi. I don't care. I will argue that till the cows come home. Hoop wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mumu second, Raptor third, Bailey in fourth, Port in P5. What coincided Port? He could have maybe got a podium. Throwing up P6, Ryan staying out. He's in P7, Hunter P8, Axe P9, and Chandler down in P10. Driggs was the one who slapped. Oh man. And I will gladly include my audio for Mumu's stream.
Have the part of me all sounds muted, so
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As we'll just wait on Raptor and Hoop for this race. Look at those DNFs as well. Absolutely incredible. So I will take it over to Katra.
For P3 and for P2, those being Raptor and the Alfa Romeo, and, well, then you have second being Mumu and the Alpha Tauri. Let's start with Raptor. So make sure whenever we go to you have your audio included. So from the alternate strategy, obviously outside of the top 10, crashing in the entrance of the Curva del Sol in qualifying, you had your work cut out for you. But with the safety car and a little bit of chaos that definitely aided your race, you came home to a podium. Walk us through what happened, because it wasn't a great race itself. Well, obviously chaotic indeed, but now we go into a race that could very well be a week from now in Saudi Arabia and Jeddah. do you think you could possibly pull off something similar to this, or maybe something even more, maybe 2 steps greater on the top 7 of the podium, maybe, in Saudi Arabia a week from now? Well then, congratulations on your P3 for the for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. I'm a little ahead of myself. To P2 then. The AlphaTauri, Mumu. First off, before we get into what happened in the race, what happened in qualifying?
So, Bailey was behind me when I started my second lap of my tires because I invalidated, so people would go past me. It was route to the line. So son I was, but oh hi dog. And then he just like slammed to the back of me, and I was backwards. And I forgot to turn around because I forgot you'd get disqualified.
From qualifying for driving the wrong way, starting 18th, and then coming home in second. It almost looked exactly like, it's ironic because Mitchie actually said this a couple of actually happened. What happened in Tier 2 to Roscoe, ironically in the same car, just not enough time. Walk us through your race.
Well, obviously with the DSK I was starting last, so I started on soft so I could make up early ground because I saw someone else do that and it worked out for them. So, but I got damage at turn 1, but then the safety car came out and that brought my race back. And the second safety car for the second pit stop, and then I just stayed in front. I was gonna go it for hoop on going into the last lap, but in my tires because on one runner's side.
Well, now once again, a week from now, maybe you usually go one better and get that.
What did you say? I was not listening, sorry.
Great. Suppose
I can't drive Saudi Arabia. I honestly don't know where half the corners go, so.
Interesting. Better get on that, because that race is a week from now. But for the Brazilian, aka Sao Paulo Grand Prix, Mitch, you actually kind of made me a little sad there. You didn't get the name.
Okay. Right. Herb, talk us through that one. Moving up into P2 in the championship as well. Chaotic throughout the race. The safety cars, the restarts. And managed to get P1 in this race. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a absolutely crazy race. I mean, there's things going on pretty much every lap. But yeah, I got a really good start against Chandler. I mean, during practice, my starts were like really good for some reason. So that was an advantage for me. And then my tires started to die, and then he passed me. And then just stuck with him. Yeah, I decided to go and then it actually paid off because I think they got held or something in the pits. And yeah, and then the safety car came out, which didn't help at all. Few people, yeah, it was just about getting past Raptor before the DRS stuff came out. And then Mumu because I thought maybe I had a lease, but yeah, I mean he had really good pace either way. But I made sure to save my battery until the last lap because I already know what he was planning for the last lap, so I had enough battery for the last lap to defend.
Well, with that win getting you the P2 in the championship as well, next week, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. What are your thoughts on that magnificent circuit?
To be honest, I want to skip it. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm 2 seconds off the pace at the moment, so. And I'm gonna be grinding iRacing all week, so. Who knows?
Don't blame me.
May or may not race.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
But I'm gonna try to keep P2 in the championship, maybe. So, we'll see.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us for an absolute chaotic Brazilian Grand Prix weekend. Join us for the greatest Grand Prix of all time. Oh my god, it's going to be amazing. Can't wait for this circuit. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Join us then for Tier 1. For Hey Catcher, it's a goodbye.